And we are back. Pokemon Leaf Green, Hardcore Nuzlocke. We are only using random Pokemon. We're diving headfirst into our first randomized run here. And continuing with the botched recordings from the first episode, we ended up getting a Pineco on Route 3 with Sandvale for its ability. And then in Mount Moon, we actually capture a speed boost Cubone, which is just a lot of fun. And then in Route 4, we ended up getting the legendary Registeel, and its ability, as you just saw here, is thick fat. So unfortunately, because of the botched recording, we didn't get to see any of that live. We didn't get to see any of that action. On top of that, I ended up failing to record the Misty battle as well, but Registeel basically one-man armied against Misty as well as our rival right there at Nugget Bridge. So Registeel is definitely going to be the backbone of the team moving forward, but here's cute little Rowan with his speed boost really showing off, and then there is the rest of the team coming together. Again, we did lose the Slow King as well as the Wailord to our fight against Brock. Other than that, no crazy happenstances with these random trainers in between, but let's go ahead and pick up and see if we run into any trainers that could cause some turmoil for the team, as well as making our way to that third gym battle against Lieutenant Surge as well as the SSN. Then right there next to the bridge is going to be our Route 24 encounter, which I failed to capture, but my goodness, it ends up being the Matang, the pre-evolution to the Metagross, and I am so excited to showcase that later in this run. Right here at Route 25, we end up getting a Victory Bell encounter, and it has pure power, which is pretty cheesy, so we will add that to the PC as well. For our Route 5 encounter, it is going to be the Water Flying Mantine here. That is not a Gyarados, but still a pretty unique typing that I do enjoy. We're going to go ahead and get the Paralysis down, chuck a Pokeball, and secure it. It's going to end up with the Runaway ability, not a bad reserve in the PC. For our Route 6 encounter, it is the Ho-Oh, the legendary bird here. Fire flying, absolutely fantastic. We get the Thunder Wave down before the safe valve comes in, the Safeguard, the Supersonic misses, and the Whirlwind comes down, and a Ho-Oh evades our encounter. That is an absolute blunder that goes up there with all the Abra teleports. Unbelievable. Let's go ahead and get that Vermilion City encounter, shall we? For our Diglett Cave encounter, it is going to be the little Ladybug, and it's going to end up with the Hustle ability. I don't think it'll ever make it outside the PC, but let's go ahead and secure it. And then for our Route 11 encounter, right there next to Vermilion City, is going to be the Nidorino here, so a potential Nidoking. I am definitely going to try to use Pokemon we don't normally use in any normal hardcore run, so potentially going to try to switch it up, but in case we need, there's going to be a Nidoking waiting for us. That's pretty cool. And then for our SSN encounter right there on that bridge in between Vermilion and the actual cruise ship, we end up securing a seal with the Sunny Day passive there, Drought, which is pretty cool. Very interesting. You could definitely try to set up some teams around that, but we're going to go ahead and secure her, and that's just going to be yet another encounter we can put in the PC for now. All right, it is now time for our fight against our rival. Sailor Blue comes down with the Doduo, and we actually get a show off little Rowan here with his bone. Cubone popping off with that speed boost passive is very fun. On top of that, it has the Shell Bell and Headbutt, so we are getting health back each turn, and we have the potential for flinches because the speed grows in our favor. So I really like this dynamic with this Pokemon. It's very fun. I don't usually use a Cubone, maybe Marowak, definitely an Alolan Marowak, but it's pretty cool to use Pokemon you never use, so the randomizer definitely helps in that regard as we clear the Doduo. Then a Gloom comes down and is looking for that Style Super Effective Grass type move, so we potentially want to pivot, and I do believe we might be able to show off Lincoln here, our Registeel, which is just phenomenal. Potentially one of the best Reggies out there. Just so tanky, so beefy, and a pretty nice moveset with Curse, being able to ramp up on your opponent as the Sweet Scent comes down. Now, we did eat the paralysis on the swap in, and that is looking just brutal right now. We could have just stayed in with the Cubone. I don't even know if Gloom has a grass type move, which is just unfortunate as the Swablu falls to a fadeaway critical Metal Claw. That is disgusting. The Ariados holds on with one Metal Claw, but we break through the paralysis and secure that, and Sailor Blue is no more. Realizing I hadn't cleared all of the trainers in the SSN before facing off our rival, I'm like, hey, let's go get some items, let's go get some levels before the third gym. And little Clamperl comes down here. I try to go for a headbutt, and I'm like, that's fine, we'll just swap out. And Clamperl has a passive such as Shadow Tag or Arena Trap, and it won't let us swap. So little Rowan is completely stuck in there against a water type, and he is trying so desperately to blitz down the Clamperl, but the clamp is adding up each turn, and I keep trying to swap and it won't let us. And the cute little Cubone, against all odds, is here, and it has to snipe from that range. If Cubone cannot secure the kill, we lose Cubone. So it is an all or nothing. We could roll it on a stab Bone Claw, but it has a 15% chance of missing, or we could roll it with the headbutt and potentially leave Clamperl at 1 or 2 HP. I end up going for the accuracy play here. We're going to go all in on the headbutt. But I'm just kidding. We go for the Bone Club. We go for the extra damage, and we do land it. The Shellbell healing for reprieve, but it doesn't kill the Clamperl with that defense, and Rowan falls. Just a real quick check on the PC. There's all the encounters we had talked about, and there is the prized Metang. It has damp, so no explosion damage or self-destruct damage possible on him, which is fantastic. Look forward to that future Metagross. And then our Route 10 encounter is going to be the chubby, blubbery friend here, the Celio. We're going to paralyze and chuck the Pokeball and secure it. It's going to end up with the Torrent ability you usually see on the water-type starters, which is super interesting. We'll see what happens. For our Rock Tunnel encounter, it is going to be the Vigoroth with the clear body ability. So that does mean we can get a Slacking without Truant, and that is going to be absolute insanity. So I will definitely take this encounter. All right, we are almost through Rock Tunnel. We are not running into many difficulties between the Nidoking and Registeel. We are really able to cover everything we need to with that beefy lineup. The Noctowl comes down here looking at level 21. I am really digging that sprite right there, actually. And now we are thinking, do we go for the Thrash, risk the potential confusion? But the Hypnosis comes down anyway, and McCreary's just sleeping on the job as you do. So we are just trying to outlast this sleep session. We do. The Noctowl falls, get that level 26 looking really good. But then we thrash into the Octillery, who gets the Constrict down on top of a Water Gun, which is super effective, as well as Stab. The confusion comes down. And at this point, I am watching a TV show, and I'm not really paying attention to what's going on as we are just making it through the cave. And I'm just gonna swap. I'm just gonna swap into Indra. I'm just gonna swap into the Pinecone. Like, Octillery is at a safe place, and we get fadeaway crit. We get fadeaway crit from a Water Gun as the Octopus lives on what seems to be 1 or 2 HP from the takedown, and that is just embarrassing. So we lose the Pineco at the very end of the Rock Tunnel, and we don't get to see what ability the Fortress could have had with that Bug Steel typing, which is actually really good. So very unfortunate loss. Let's see if we can clean those up moving forward. For our Route 8 encounter, it is going to be the Geodude, and he's going to end up with the Arena Trap ability. So nothing crazy. We do have trade evolutions on, so we could potentially go for the Golem later on in the run if we wanted to. It is on the table. For our Route 7 encounter, it is going to be the Bayleaf here, the Chikorita second evolution. And it's going to end up with Cacophony for its ability, so it avoids all sound-based attacks, which is pretty interesting. But we're going to go ahead and put it in the PC for now. Unfortunately, for our Eevee encounter, it is going to be the Slowpoke, and since we've already got the Slowking Lexa who died in the first gym, I'm just going to count that as a duplicate, and we can't really re-roll it, so we'll just take the L on that one. Our Route 16 encounter is going to be the Chime Echo. We're going to paralyze it and then chuck some Great Balls at it and secure it. It's going to end up with the Airlock ability, so look forward to that later on in the run. All right, and then right here in Celadon City, we are fishing with the Old Rod, and it is a level 5 Gyarados, which is just disgusting. On top of that, he has Chlorophyll, so he actually loses his Intimidate and gets the random ability Chlorophyll, which buffs your speed in the sunlight, which is kind of just funny to think about. But I usually ban Gyarados from all my runs, so we do potentially have the chance to use him here. Let's look forward to that as well. It is now time to take on the fourth gym leader, Erica. That's right. And you're probably like, wait a second, what about Lieutenant Surge? And as you do, I completely forgot to take on the third gym leader. So we will have to double back later on when I realize what is happening as the Volby and Absol get absolutely nuked by Maddie with the stab, Dizzy Punch, as well as extreme speed lined up. And you are seeing the birth of our strategy moving forward because someone may or may not be able to learn Belly Drum. So watch out for some Belly Drum extreme speed shenanigans moving forward. But as far as this video goes, that will do it. And I am looking forward to less technical difficulties and just more crisp, clean gameplay moving forward with this randomizer. But as always, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you on the flip. Peace.